There you go. There you go.
Have
Hello,
many
I'm thinking
Irish-
about a couple weeks. I'm struggling with options. Yeah, that's okay, Rebecca. People do. I have a options playlist. I'll put it in the video description. The first 4 videos are really important. Video 1 is introduction to options. Video 2 is basic options. Video 3 is stock plus options. The last video is advanced option strategies. Make sure you build. Options are the only ones where you have to, you can't, you know, in other parts of the 7, Rebecca, if you don't get something, it's okay because something completely new will be coming. And you can say, okay, well, I didn't get that, but I can get this. But options are different. If you don't lay that base, you have no clue of a straddle or spread if you haven't laid the base. And so sometimes I have to tell people, well, you're not ready for advanced options. You got to get the basics first. So make sure you don't try and bite that all off at once, right? So make sure you do that incrementally, and that's how I would recommend doing that. Regulatory questions are not as big a deal as options. You know, the chalk lines, that's not as testable as product information. You can get 20 plus or minus 5 on options. Now, remember, if you are struggling with options, there are a lot of option questions that aren't really option questions. They're just recognition questions. When do options expire? When does the option agreement have to be back? How does the OCC assign exercise notices? So if we can't get this under control in a couple of weeks, make sure at least you get all that recognition stuff you're entitled to as it relates to options. Let's say 20, Brian. I think you think there's lower than 20.
That's about right.
But my point is, Brian, how would you think maybe a third is just recognition of stuff that really isn't about options, like the disclosure document, that kind of thing?
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you this, most people, the majority of people say that less than half are calculation.
Yeah.
Questions.
So
the recognition.
Good news, I guess. One of my all-time favorite test takers, Rebecca. Oh, what a surprise. Her name was actually Rebecca. I don't know how she could have been at Fidelity for 5 years and never taken a 7. And, you know, that came up in one of her interviews, and Fidelity told her, whoever, you know, her supervisor was, that if she doesn't have a 7, she's going to be redeployed some area of Fidelity. And, you know, she doesn't want to do that. She kind of likes where she's at. So she had to take and pass her 7, and she was really struggling with options. And I said, well, listen, you don't really, Rebecca, need to know all of this. You need to know 72% of it with 100% accuracy. So I'm not suggesting that we blow off options. I'm just suggesting that let's pay attention to that and let's keep trying to get it under control. But if we don't, we're 2 days out, we just got to sign it to the universe and make sure we get the recognition questions we're entitled to. Now, in those days, Rebecca, they gave you a score passing or not. And Rebecca got the perfect score. She didn't learn any more than was required. She got a 72. Woo! Now, I would want you to have a little margin of safety, but I teased her. I said, you should go back to your firm and say, I got the perfect score. Right? I joke, if you got over 90 in the days when they gave scores, Rebecca, I'd say, you wasted a lot of time. You don't need a 90. And I might say, I think I should fire you now. You got over 90. I'm going to supervise you if you're smarter than me. You're going to be ahead of me all the time, right?